what happens, and this is sort of where I think many people will wake up to this. The Lyme disease is a very potent biotoxin-producing microbe, and so is Bartonella, and so is Mycoplasma, and so are many of the others. And these biotoxins compete in our system for the same detoxification pathways that we need to detoxify mercury and lead and cadmium and insecticides and pesticides. And now what we're finding in an autistic child, or really like in a grown-up that isn't healthy anymore, is a system where the enzymes of detoxification and the pathways of detoxification are simply overwhelmed by the onslaught of both man-made toxins and toxins created by these microbes on us. It's like a big funnel, where the nose of the funnel things have to go through, and there's just simply too many of them. And then what happens is that the body has to back the toxins back up into the system and find the best way of distributing them in our body, storing them until the time comes when the detox pathways are free to clear a few of these. And so this is not just true for the autistic kids. When we find these kids and do lab work, let's say we test their urine, there's some new tests, the urinary porphyrins, there is the urine organic acids. There is a number of indicators of how we can find out whether there's on a daily basis a trickle of toxins coming through these kids. And that's, of course, what everybody finds now, that when you look at autistic children from the toxic point of view, you find that they're very toxic. And they have displaced mercury in their tissues, they have displaced cadmium in their tissues, aluminum, and so forth. However, my thesis that I'm proposing here and have proposed at various conferences and things I published is that the reason we find these kids so toxic is that they have a stealthy, silent, daily 24/7 toxin production in their own body caused by these microbes. Molds play a huge role in this as well. Lyme spirochetes suppress the immune system, and then molds that usually live in the gut or in the household that do not settle in our body suddenly become alive in us and grow, and they have to do that by producing very potent, very well-known biotoxin. One of them is called patulin. There's many others, quinolinic acid, and so forth, in order to establish themselves. So what we have is a given load in these children that's transferred from the mom. We know that mom transfers up to 2/3 of her body loads of toxins to the firstborn child. So we have a given toxic insult to the child, a download from man-made toxins that are transferred from mom to the child, and then we have a download of a toxin-producing microbiome, a biological system of infectious agents that's also downloaded to the child that will, on an ongoing basis, now do its damage. The only explanation why the child is healthy when it's born, but the downhill cascade of events that starts usually about 18 months starts then with most of the autistic kids. At least the regressive form of autism starts at 18 months, can only be explained on this basis, that there is a rapid growth of toxins inside the child, and that cannot be explained with the original download. But it's, first of all, of course, an accumulation of toxins through the vaccinations, which is a whole other issue that I'd rather not go into. But with each vaccination, there is a download not just of the active ingredient in the vaccine, so to say, but there is the attenuating agents that are given to it and the preservatives that are in it, which amount to a substantial amount of toxic load given to the children. So we have two things that grow in the child. One is the toxic exposures from, let's say, the breast milk, or from the formula that children are given until that age. There is the exposure to household toxins from molds in the house, from carpets that are outgas VOCs. There is the fluoride in the drinking water, which is catastrophic in this country. And there is the accumulative damage from the vaccines.